go 8 rounds with this guy that goes a distance. You're telling me before this guy's a pretty tough fighter. So
very tough.
8 rounds going distance with him, I guess, wasn't a surprise for you.
No. Of course we all want to knock out, but I came in here with the mindset of wanting the rounds. I've been off since February. I lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks. I started camp at 262. I weighed in at 233, and that's a lot of weight to lose in that short period of time. So I went in there. I wanted to box, and I didn't realize how much that quickly losing the weight was going to affect me, and I felt it in the 4th, 5th round. So I was struggling with trying to keep my distance. So other than that, from a scale of 1 to 10, I felt like my performance was maybe a 5 or 6.
Okay. But I guess you're saying after all losing all that weight and getting down to that, the fact that you're able to go to distance and you seem pretty spry. You don't seem pretty exhausted. You don't seem exhausted right now.
I'm not exhausted. Yeah. I'm just more mentally frustrated.
Right.
Because I know the type of fighter I am.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Nazim Richardson would never work with me. Nazim Richardson works with Bernard Hopkins. He would never work with me if he didn't believe in me and he didn't believe in the type of fighter I was. If I was just some club fighter, he would never waste his time with me. So that I appreciate. And to know all the stuff he tells me, it means a lot to me. And I was more frustrated because I know I could have done so much better. And I wanted to please my fans, and I think I came out a little too relaxed. I'm a little more pumped up, but I won. And you get them how they come, and we move on to the next one. But we got to stay in the gym.
Yeah, I know a year ago after that outdoor fight, I started to talk to you, and you were kind of in the same mindset. I think you rated yourself about a 5 or a 6 after your fight there. How much progress do you think you've made in the last year?
Mentally, in the last 4 years, I went through a lot of stuff. I went through depression, and recently I'm going to. I'm a human being. I've been going to counseling, and mentally I feel so much better. I'm a different person than I was last year.
Right.
As far as my skill-wise, I didn't show my skills tonight, so I was a little frustrated about that. Like I said earlier, I know the type of fighter I am. So as far as my skills, I was much better, I thought, this fight than what I was when I fought in the outdoor Reading show. Other than that, my mind is so much better. And you know what? To me, that's more important than my physical feature.
So you got a clear head. What's coming up down the road for you?
First things first, Monday morning back in the gym, going to run, and stay in the gym. And that's what happens with me in between fights. I say, I got time off. Let me take some time off instead of being right back in the gym. And I'm a whole different fighter because, like I said, I went through all this depression and this other issues deeper issues I had to deal with. And now I know I'm clear-minded and I know I have a purpose in life. So it's right back in the gym.
Hey, congratulations. Thank you.
Your opponent, Aaron Lyons, he kept the pressure on you the whole fight. It seemed like you were starting to get gassed, in the later rounds. How much of that was just leading on, and how much of it was him?
I was just more. He did keep putting the pressure on. He didn't stop. He's a tough SOB. I take my hat off to him. He's tough. He's been in there with some of the best. Luis Ortiz. He's been there with Joey Abel. He's been in there with Bolo Wills. So he's been in there with top fighters, and he knows what to do to survive. And he did exactly what he needed to do. I know I hurt him a couple times. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish the job. I got the victory, and I take it how it comes. But like I said, he's a tough son of a bitch, and I take my hat off to him.
Yeah, I could hear from ringside. Not seeing him in your corner. He was telling you, it starts with the jab. So was that the key going into this fight?
Use my jab, and the key is the jab, and that's in any fight. If you don't use your jab, you leave yourself open for things, and your jab sets other opportunities up. Unfortunately, when I throw the jab, he would lead in and stay on my chest. So I really couldn't hit him with many other things. I thought I headhunted a little too much. In the beginning of the fight, I was going to his body really good.
You get a right hook to the body.
Right hook to the body,
nice.
And that's my favorite shot. Unfortunately, after like the 3rd, 4th round, he knew how to get away from it from a little bit. And it is what it is. I got the victory. We're back in the gym Monday, and we look forward to our next fight.
Okay, you talked about it's been a little difficult for you over the last 4 years or so. That would date back to the Tony Grano fight in 2009.
Fight,
that's when people really first started to know who you were because it was such a great fight.
Yeah.
And so what have you been battling since then?
Well, since the Tony Grano fight, I went through all this depression. Number one, I was 18-0. I was one of the highest, the most talked about American prospects besides Chris Arreola at the time. And to know where I was at, and Al Heyman, who was my manager at the time, to turn his back on me, Not really, yeah, he really did turn his back on me. So when I had that, I just went through this whole depression, and I know it's a business for Al. I take nothing away from him, but for me, it wasn't like after I lost the fight this one, which it wasn't. I was winning the fight the whole time up until I got caught with the low blow, and I started fighting with my heart instead of my head. If anybody who's seen the fight tonight knows, that wasn't the same fighter as the night I fought Tony Grano. I'm much more skilled. I'm a little more overweight than what I was when I fought Grano. But like I said, in the last 4 years I went through all this depression and being up and down, 3 hand surgeries, and like I said, right now I feel really good. So
I think you're rated top 15 in the world by at least one section of the body. I mean, you're looking to get a shot at some kind of title.
Of course, if opportunity knocks, we're gonna jump on it, and I know I'm gonna be right in the gym. So I know my next performance is going to be way better. Am I ready for that right now? Mentally, yeah, of course. I know who I am and I know what I can do. Physically, I think I need 1 or 2 more fights just to get back to where I was.
Right, because this was an 8-rounder. A couple fights you want to move up to a 10-rounder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, 1 or 2 more fights. Definitely at least 2 more. A little better opposition than Aaron. Aaron's a tough guy. I knew I was going to go to rounds. I knew he was going to take me some rounds. I thought I could get him out of there, but I didn't realize that the fatigue was going to set in just because of losing the weight so fast. I mean, if you can see I was real flabby just from losing the weight so fast, and I'm right back in the gym Monday. We're going to start tightening up and lift and get right back to it.
Okay, well, good luck to you. Anything else you want to say?
No, I thank my fans and I thank everybody who still believes in me. And it's a growing process. I'm still one of the youngest prospects besides Deontay Wilder, and every day's a step forward, and that's the only thing I can't go down. So,
all right, have a good one.